Aging isn't about slowing down, it's about stepping into your power. Welcome to Don't Let the Old Lady In, the podcast where we challenge outdated beliefs about getting older and embrace wellness, self-love, and confidence. Your host is Lorie Gardner, a registered nurse and nationally board-certified health and wellness coach, and she is your guide on this journey to vibrant, mindful living. Each episode will explore topics that nourish your mind, body, and spirit, and how to navigate health issues in the healthcare system as you age, so you can live with energy, purpose, and joy. Let's get started. Here's your host, Lorie Gardner. Welcome back to Don't Let the Old Lady In podcast, where we explore how to age well and stay vibrant. I'm your host, Lorie Gardner, and I know we all want to stay sharp, resilient, and engaged as we age, right, ladies? But did you know that mental resilience is a perishable skill? That's right. Just like cardiovascular fitness or strength training, your brain needs consistent workouts. You can't just do it once and expect lifelong results. It's an ongoing process, and the stakes, well, they're high. So today we're talking about training our brains and giving it some mental fitness. Poor mental resilience doesn't just cause forgetfulness. It affects your mood, energy, relationships, and overall health. Chronic stress, negative beliefs, and emotional heaviness actually accelerate brain aging. But the good news, your brain is flexible, and with the right practices, you can strengthen it at any age. So let's go, ladies. Let's start with some awareness. What happens to the brain as we age? You know, I like to start with my science, and I love for everybody to get aware of what the real nature of everything is. But what happens to that brain as we age? Well, brain volume shrinks, starting in our 30s and accelerating in our 50s. Certain areas of the brain, especially the hippocampus, the area responsible for memory, gradually shrinks. This can lead to slower recall or more tip-of-the-tongue moments. The next thing that happens is we have slower processing speed. You may notice it takes a little longer to process new information or multitask. That's normal, but there are ways to slow it down. There's also neurochemical shifts, dopamine, serotonin, and acetylcholine. These are important neurotransmitters for motivation, memory, mood, and these can decrease over time. You can also have reduced neuroplasticity. While the brain remains adaptable, the ability to form new neural connections declines a bit, only if it's not actively stimulated. So there are things we can do. And this is the exciting part, ladies. These changes aren't set in stone. Lifestyle, mindset, and emotional health all play a role in how pronounced they become. So let's talk about that big topic, ladies, stress. You know, chronic stress isn't just unpleasant. It actually changes your brain. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, a hormone meant to help you respond to danger. But when cortisol stays high over time, the hippocampus shrinks. That affects your memory formation. Neurogenesis happens. That's the creation of new brain cells. That declines with stress. And that prefrontal cortex that is responsible for decision-making, focus, and self-control, that functions less efficiently with stress. So doesn't that inspire us all to manage our stress better? Absolutely. It doesn't just stop there, ladies. Emotional heaviness, like carrying resentment, grief, or unresolved stress, has similar effects. Even depression and prolonged loneliness reduce brain connectivity, making it harder to think clearly, solve problems, and regulate emotions. I don't know if you listened to last week's podcast, but isn't this sounding a little familiar? All these things that affect our ability to eat properly and thrive are also here the things that can affect our brain in a negative way. So staying mentally sharp isn't just about memory exercises. It's about managing your emotions, your stress, and your connection with others. Here's something I'm deeply passionate about, ladies. Our beliefs and mindset profoundly influence how our brains age. Have you heard of epigenetics? Well, it's the science that shows our genes aren't our destiny. Our thoughts, environment, and lifestyle can turn certain genes on or off. Now, maybe the gene profile might stay the same, but the reaction it has can be altered. Positive, empowering beliefs like I can learn new things at any age or I am resilient and capable actually promote brain health, reduce stress hormones, and enhance neuroplasticity. So ladies, couldn't we just say that every day? I can learn new things at any age. Or I'm resilient and capable. Also, let's talk about limiting beliefs, like I'm too old to change, or I'll never remember things again. Increases stress, triggers inflammation, and accelerates cognitive decline. We don't want to say those things. So when we cultivate curiosity, optimism, and self-love, we are literally helping our brains stay younger and sharper at the cellular level. So let's take a moment. Let's reflect on this. Take a moment and think, what is one belief you've been holding that may be slowing your brain down? And how might you reframe it? If you've been sitting here saying something that maybe you heard older relatives say, like, oh, you get to a certain age, you can't learn anything new. I'm too old to change. Maybe you want to flip that script. Say something else like, it's never too late to learn. It's never too late to improve my memory. So, now that we've covered what happens in the brain and why mindset matters, let's talk about practical ways to protect it. I'm going to let you guess what I'm going to first say. What's my favorite thing to do? Meditation. Meditation and mindfulness. Even 10 to 20 minutes a day reduces cortisol, strengthens the hippocampus, and enhances the prefrontal cortex. It's like giving your brain a reset button. Now, ladies, I know sometimes meditation sounds overwhelming. Again, reach out. I got simple ways to do it, even if it's just breathing. But I'd put this at the top of your list if you're not doing it. Number 2, cognitive challenges. Novelty keeps neurons firing. Learn a new language. Take up an instrument. Play strategy games. Or even switch up your daily routines. Try brushing your teeth with your left hand if your right hand dominated. Simple. But just try it. It really can change your brain. Also, physical exercise is so important. Regular movement improves blood flow, delivers oxygen and nutrients to the brain, and increases a protein that fuels neuroplasticity. It's called BDNF. But it really can have amazing results. So walking, yoga, dance, and strength training all count. So, emotional awareness, so very important. It's so important to process your stress, ladies. You know, you can do this in a myriad of ways. I have a whole nother podcast on that. You could journal. My first coaching course had us do what we called a purge letter. You know, you're stressed out, you have so much going on, you're mad, you're angry, whatever it is. You write it down, stream of consciousness, write it all down, get it out on paper, because, you know, sometimes you can't unload this on other people. You have a lot of power within you. You have a lot of spiritual connections, I'll leave it, that can actually help you through this, but you can actually purchase all these emotions on a piece of paper, let it sit, maybe burn it, maybe rip it up, feel it in your body, speak to your body, move your body, do jumping jacks, and push it out. So also very important to reduce that emotional heaviness that causes our stress. Then there's that spiritual connection that is ultimately where we all should be. It comes from meditation, prayer, breath work, or connecting with your higher self. It can improve your clarity, your resilience, and your energy. When your mind, body, and spirit are aligned, ladies, not only are you just thriving beyond belief, but your brain functions at a higher level. You think clearly, make better decisions, and feel more alive. So what are some little daily practice you could just start today? It doesn't have to be a huge thing. You know me, I'm always saying small steps over time create big change. Just pause and reflect. Catch a negative thought and reframe them with an empowering belief. I just shared this with a client last week. I don't recall where I got it, but I said, put a rubber band on your wrist or a, scrunchie for your hair. Every time you have a negative thought, snap it. And as you snap it, give yourself an empowering belief or a different mantra to talk about. Take some I call them micro mindfulness breaks throughout the day. Even 1 to 2 minutes, preferably 5 minutes of focused breathing or grounding exercises can reset your brain. And then again, don't forget about novelty and learning. Just add one small thing to your day that challenges your brain. Read something new, take a different route to the grocery store, brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand, anything. The key is consistency. Small daily practices create big results over time. So for anyone who wants to take this to a step further, I offer all sorts of guidance. You may want me to create together, because I believe in customizing your plans. Because you're the expert in your body, your mind, and your spirit, you can come up with an amazing plan for yourself. I call it the Mental Resiliency Fitness Program. Plan for yourself. So get in touch if you'd like to get a little more structured on how to strengthen your brain daily through mindfulness and all the exercise we talked about. But whether you choose to work with me or not, the most important takeaway is this. Your brain is flexible, resilient, and capable of growth. Your thoughts, habits, and emotional awareness directly influence how you age mentally. And the earlier you start, the more clarity, energy, and joy you'll enjoy. So thank you for spending some time to me today. I hope your brain is on fire, ready to take some changes, and especially not to let that old lady in. Remember, your brain is not fixed. It's flexible. The thoughts and practices you choose today literally affect how sharp and resilient your mind will be tomorrow. So don't let the old lady in. Nurture your mind, care for your emotions, and connect with your spirit. Your brain, your life will thank you. Share this with a friend who might need it. Follow me. Pop up some comments. I appreciate all of your support. Have a great day. And until next time, don't let the old lady in. And that's a wrap on today's episode of Don't Let the Old Lady In. Remember, age is just a number. Your mindset, energy, and passion are what truly define you. If this episode spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend. Subscribe and leave a review so we can continue this journey together. You are strong, vibrant, and unstoppable. Until next time, keep living boldly, loving yourself fully, and most importantly, don't let the old lady in.